The conversation that's going on in the United States right now about ISIS and about the United States overseas is more oversimplified than ever.
We're also taking strong measures to protect our nation from radical Islamic terrorism.
All of these attacks share one common denominator. They were not committed by Jews or Hindus or Episcopalians. They were committed by radical Islamic terrorists.
If Islam at its core is peaceful, why is there such a problem here?
Are there Christian terrorist armies like ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab? Are there armies like that in the world that are not Muslim?
A study conducted after 9/11 found that for people who thought another terror attack was imminent, watching TV news made them more likely to support hawkish responses to terrorism, including things like military action.
Shock and awe.
It also causes us to pursue security measures that sound good, but don't actually make us safer.
The question we need to be asking as Americans examining our foreign policy is whether or not we're pouring kerosene on a candle. The only real way to disarm your enemy is to listen to him.
I mean, Islam is a religion, and like all religions, it's privy to all of the cultural and nationalistic and social and political and economic factors that define how it's lived in real life. And so it's not a coincidence that in what just happens to be the most unstable region of the world right now, politically unstable, economically unstable, socially unstable, we have a rise of religious radicalism because that's what religion does. It tends to fill the vacuum.
This was terrorism at its worst, and this is what could happen really in any major large city in the United States or in Europe. And we have to always be on our guard. I hope this is a wake-up call. And I hope the president is listening when this morning he said that ISIS is contained. This shows that it's going to be a long, hard fight before ISIS or Al-Qaeda or Islamic terrorism is contained and destroyed.
It's not about events happening 10,000 miles away. It's about events happening in Paris, in Garland, Texas, on the streets of Boston during a marathon. This is all part of their plan. And sadly, this kind of tragedy we witness today will not be the last one of its kind.
The most important role of the government of the United States is to protect the American people and the homeland. And if you cannot vet 10,000 people coming here, and they won't be able to vet them because they have no mechanism by which they can do it, then the likelihood is very strong. ISIS has actually, of course, offered to send terrorists infiltrated among the refugees.
Terrorists stage a frightening spectacle of violence that captures our imagination and turns it against us. Terrorists kill a handful of people and cause millions to fear for their lives. In order to calm these fears, governments react with a show of security, orchestrating immense displays of force, such as the persecution of entire populations or the invasion of foreign countries. Usually, it is this overreaction to terrorism that threatens the peace of the world more than the terrorists themselves.